Good Friday afternoon, YouTube. Back at Hugmeister's Garage and Workshop, and we're getting ready to add our fan forced heater to our radiant system. And we're going to have both the radiant system and the fan forced heater when it shows up. But my manifolds came today from Supply House, so we're pre-building those. And what we're going to have is, I got two capped off, but we're going to have a return valve here, return valve, supply valve, cap, and 3/4 going out. That way I can take that heater off without, and I can just turn those valves off. And this is our 1-inch coming in from our supply, and that's 3/4 going out to our heater when it arrives. And I got a couple straps to support it to the wall here. Well, we're gonna have to do a little probably trimming back and probably get water all over the place. I turned it off earlier, so hopefully I won't cry like a little bitch getting scalded. So we'll be back. All right, we got our manifolds assembled and we've got our loops piped back in, and we're gonna turn it on here in a second and see if we got any leaks. But we got these turned off. This is where our unit heater is going to come. It's going to hang up there off that plywood, and we should get enough flow rate to give us some heat. Say that diesel heater, I think they only put out like 25,000, 26,000, the 8 kWs, and that actually brings us up to temp with the radiant, so I think we're going to be fine. So we'll probably be back when the new heater arrives. Have a good weekend. Hey, happy Thanksgiving morning, folks. Back over here. We actually decided we got a little temporary hookup here. We got it all bled out. I got my dad's old heat exchanger we tore out of his furnace. I just got it strapped to this welding table, and I got this fan on the back, and we're actually getting good radiation out of these, which I think is going to make it a more even heat when it gets going. And we're getting a little more fan, we're getting a little more convection out of here. And actually, with that fan running, we're back down to a 20-degree drop across the supply, and the return temp at 5 gallons a minute. And we're running 43 watts right now, plus whatever that little fan is there. But this isn't the most efficient, but because of the fan isn't enclosed there. But actually, man, that puts out some nice heat. So I think when the new unit arrives Monday, that's going to be hung up there. Of course, this will all be gone and it'll be piped in direct, and I think we're going to have a winner. So we'll see you probably Monday night. Have a good holiday. Well, it's Friday, folks, and our heater finally showed up from Amazon. It was stuck in the 6 feet of snow up in Erie in one of the distribution houses, but it finally showed up. Got a little bit of assembly to do here with the hanging brackets, and looks like it's 1-inch pipe in, like they say. And it's got a little mini filter on the back, so plus you can adjust the louvers on it. Good looking little guy. Hopefully it'll work for us. Well, like I say, that's going to go up there, and we've already got our isolation valves off. Let that cool down so I can drain it, and then we'll hang it, bring it back up, and we'll try it out. We also threw a vent on the return too, so we've got one on the supply and return on this. But we'll be back in a bit when we get this baby hung, and we'll give her a shot. Okay, folks, we got her up. Just turned the valves back on. Now this one has a built-in aquastat on it, so I got it set for 140 degrees. So hopefully when the water comes up there, there she goes. There she goes. Alright. Get these adjusted and I'll be right back. Alright, she's all finished up. Now we got a combination system. We got 2 loops of radiant. One zone there, one zone there. Makes it a little more even in here. Then this gives us a little bit of boost, and it spreads the air around pretty good. But I'll tell you how this works actually. Use the taco controller for the inputs, outputs. I got lights that go all the way into the house that let me know the status. That is a Renko temperature switch, and what that is for is when this calls for heat, it doesn't turn this main pump on. It lets the pump on the boiler slowly drive some hot water down here if this is off for a long time, so it doesn't shock the boiler. And by the time it goes through and mixes with my domestic hot water return, it brings that water temperature up slowly. When it meets its, I think I got to set 140 degrees, then that pump will turn on and it increases the flow. And that valve is there so I don't get any ghost flow if I don't want to pump water down here all the time, because it'll circulate through that loop with just that main boiler on. So that's what that valve is for. So we got our temperature in, we got our vents, and this won't come on until until that water temperature comes up to what you want it to be. And actually I got that maxed all the way out, so that's nice. That won't blow cold air on you until the temperature's up to snuff. But we definitely gained some headroom here tearing out that older system. This is a little bit louder than I thought it would have been for the size of it, but it's no louder than what the other one was, and I'm sure I'll get used to it. I mean, it's just a small fan. It was an Amazon, made in China. I think it was $276 and I had a $60 coupon, so I bought it. So it's only a 50,000 BTU, but it gave me enough room to scab a couple extra shells in there, so I can throw more stuff on there that I'll probably never find again when I'm looking for it. But there you go, and this is all driven off my solar system, so it's definitely drawn a lot less wattage. It's drawn 115 watts now with that pump and that fan going, because that's only 60 watts instead of the 545 before, plus that pump. So it's definitely going to make our battery system last longer. So there we go, it all worked out in the end. Have a good weekend, folks.